What's up, Holly? Hold on, let me see what the hell going on here. Amber alert. What's going on? Anybody catch what Ron DeSantis said about the damn rioters? That shit was crazy. I don't know if this is what I got pulled up here. I don't know if it's the one where he was saying pretty much just run them over. But yeah, Florida ain't gonna play it. Let's see what Ron is talking about in this one.
They're objecting because they don't want to get kicked out of America, and yet they're burning the American flag, and yet they're waving the flag of the country that they don't want to get sent back to. Can you please make this make sense to me?
And on the federal level, Florida congressmen are applauding President Donald Trump for the controversial move of circumventing California's government to send in the National Guard.
And I respect the president's wishes to want a law and order
What's
environment
up,
in our country. This is why I support the actions he's had towards settling things down.
Meanwhile, the Florida GOP trying to fundraise from it all, sending out this email denouncing the LA protests and suggesting the same could happen at a planned demonstration in Tampa.
Okay.
But protests aside, there are some Florida Republicans now challenging the recent action of federal immigration officials, especially in South Florida. In a post over the weekend, State Senator Ileana Garcia, a co-founder of Latinos for Trump, called the raids, quote, arbitrary measures to satisfy, quote, a self-fabricated deportation goal. She wrote, quote, this is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable.
So what do? You just let them burn the country down? I mean, I don't see what the big deal is about sending them back, do you? I mean, hell, they're putting a strain on the government, you know? I don't get it. Why anybody would be opposed to it. They knew that that was a risk that they took coming here. So listen, I kind of wondered, I was like, why are they putting these people up in motels and stuff like that, right? And everybody's got the same question. Why are they putting them in motels and feeding them when Biden was doing that? Well, today, the Border Patrol, Lazy R, however you say it, explained it. He said, well, if you put them in an ice bed, in other words, meaning put them in an ice detention facility and vet them, you have to take them to court within 90 days, and more than likely they'll be shipped back. Where if you just set them free, that could take several years. And it was a political gain for later on, which that made sense to me. I didn't understand, you know, that if they put them in detained them, that they would get run through the court system within 90 days. Kind of makes you go, okay, all right. So they had the catch and release program.
Humane.
My heart hurts for our diverse community.
Florida Democrats say they welcome a bipartisan coalition to fight back against the deportations. That's as State Rep Ana Escamani says constituents are telling her what's happening in California is already happening to people here.
His case was then dismissed and then he was detained. And the rest of his family, they're all U.S. citizens. They've been trying to follow things the right way. I think that's the reality in this country, is that there really is no clear path to citizenship. And so we're basically criminalizing individuals that have done everything to the best of their ability the right way, only to learn that the United States, every way is wrong, apparently.
In Tallahassee, Forrest Saunders, ABC Action News.
Now, what the hell did that have to do with Ron DeSantis? I didn't understand that. Well, okay.
Of anti-ICE.
Tex, what's up, British Bulldog? Donna, hey. If I hadn't said hey to you already. Hold on, I got another video pulled up here. We're going to see what they're talking about. This is a Florida sheriff talking here. Now, I have not watched these news briefings, so I don't know what they're saying. We're watching them for the first time together, if you ain't already seen them.
Why we are not and will never be California. This is Florida, the anti-rioting state. So I'm glad to be joined here today by your great sheriff, Wayne Ivey. We have a new ICE liaison in the state of Florida, which is one of our big announcements today. Agent Anthony Coker, who you'll hear from, FHP Colonel Gary Howes, who leads the troopers, Florida's public safety czar, Larry Keefe. We have your great state attorney, Will Shiner, and Senator Debbie
we
Mayfield.
want to see Sheriff Judd.
So thank you all for being here today. Two big announcements. One, we're excited to be the first state to announce our own ICE agent embed in the state. Agent Coker will be housed here with our leadership team in Florida as we work to support the Trump administration's efforts to combat illegal immigration. We have a great collaborative operation with the feds, with ICE, and we're very, very proud to support them. So thank you for being here with us today. Number two, we're going to talk about a new program that we're executing to protect ICE agents. Around the country, especially in California, you're seeing a new effort where leftist groups are attacking ICE agents by revealing their personal identifying information, including family information.
That's
this is
crazy.
called doxing, if you're not yet aware. Releasing this public information for the purposes of intimidating, threatening, and distracting them from their duties. We're not going to tolerate that in Florida. That is illegal in Florida. If we find you doing that, we will hold you accountable, and we'll talk a little bit about our program there. But as an overarching matter, we are not California. We do not allow
you come
rioting
here on
in the state of
vacation and
Florida.
leave on probation. They said that for a reason. Florida don't play the radio.
It's been 4 or 5 years now since the senator and her team passed the Anti-Rioting Act in Florida. As always, we are proactive. And if you want to throw things at vehicles, rocks, or other objects, you're going to do time. If you want to light things on fire and put people in harm's way, you're going to do time. If you want to burn down businesses, if you want to wreak havoc and destruction in Florida, we have enhanced penalties to ensure you will do time. So we do not tolerate rioting, as groups talk about assembling over the weekend. We haven't seen much of that in Florida. But if you do, these guys, the sheriff's office, Colonel Howes, and the team, we are ready across the state to ensure that it is nipped in the bud right away.
Pat, what's up?
So today,
What's up,
we're excited to announce our collaborative work with ICE.
For you if you want
the doxing is not going to happen. We've set up a program where any ICE agent that believes personal identifying information has been revealed will be able to report that to Colonel Howes and the FHP team so that they can begin, routine checkups and patrols to go make sure the families are okay, to keep an eye on the agents and their homes and their families. We want them here. We want them protecting our society. But while they're protecting our families, we're going to protect theirs. So Agent Coker, we've got your back. Your colleagues, we've got their backs. You guys are ensure law and order. The voters last November made loud and clear that we want to ensure law and order. We want to enforce against illegal immigration, and we will stop at nothing to protect you and keep you guys safe. We're the law and order state.
That's right. Law and order.
So with that, I will turn it over to Sheriff Ivey.
Good morning, everybody. So I want to start out by thanking our Attorney General for joining us here in beautiful Brevard County. Our Attorney General and Governor Ron DeSantis also for their amazing support for law enforcement. Public safety in our communities is like nothing we've ever seen before. People are moving to Florida in droves because this is the free state of Florida. They're moving here because they know their families will be safe here. Their businesses will be safe.
Yeah, Florida
they won't have to contend with what we're seeing in places like Los Angeles and New York and Chicago, those things that are happening right now as we stand here today speaking. Our general was, I will say, very instrumental, was the tip of the spear in our blueprint for Free Florida. And now he's the tip of the spear in making sure that we are protecting what I like to call our 3 C's, our citizens, our cops, and our Constitution. And he has stood strong with not only law enforcement, but with us here in Brevard County, and we appreciate you. I'm gonna start out by addressing the doxing issue that we were talking about. Our ICE agents, just like our Florida Highway Patrol, are our partners. We all ride together in this. We all are out here to make sure that we're protecting our citizens, protecting our communities. Many of them have been called to the border.
Not much.
Many of them have been called to other locations to deal with the amount of fugitives and things that are going on, detainers. So for us, we will have their back. We will work closely with Colonel Howes and his team in making sure that we're increasing patrol. We're watching them. Anybody that's
Dude, I seen a thing. This teacher put up a thing talking about how wrong it was for people to even say anything about these rioters waving that New Mexico flag or Mexico flag, saying, I think he said March 17th they celebrate the Irish and they wave their flags all the time. And it's like, dude, it's not the same fucking thing. And he's like, well, how you know them people are over here legal? And it's like, bro, come on, man. No fuck. That's right. Don't fuck with Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse will fuck you up.
It's doxing them. As the general said, we passed a law about 4 or 5 years ago that makes it illegal to dox here in the state of Florida. So anybody's doing that, we will take
I've been no that, bro.
on doing it. We will stand with you.
Something wrong with it.
I want to define a couple things, and our general
was
very, very kind in how he said things. I'm not as usually as elegant in how I say things, so I'm going to first say that peaceful protests are part of our democracy.
They've all had that on Deerfield.
We invite people to share their opinions. That's what our country is all about. The key word in that is peaceful. And if it's peaceful, us in law enforcement are going to make sure you have a safe environment to do it in. That's part of that process. If you let it turn violent, you do not want to do that in Brevard County. I'm going to tell you that, and I believe I can speak for my fellow sheriffs around the rest of the state. You don't want to let it happen.
They will.
And just so there's no confusion, make it down for you. All right? Because as you watch these riots unfold across the rest of the country, what you are seeing is buildings being burned down, police cars being bricked, having explosive devices thrown on them, having fire, guns pointed at them, bricks thrown at them.
Yeah, they will kill you here.
So I'm gonna break it down for you. All right. And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over.
Tell them again.
Dragged across the street.
Hold on, let me.
Our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street.
One more time, Sheriff.
County, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street.
I just want to make sure everybody.
If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at. Gun at one of our deputies. We will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at. Gun at one of our deputies. We will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at. Because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
Understand that.
This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order. Not here, not in the state of Florida. So to make it real simple, if you don't want to have any of those things happen to you, obey the law. Go protest all you want. Do it peacefully.
I wouldn't even protest.
Stand on the mountaintops and yell your opinion, your view.
Let me tell you something. Yell your view online. Stay home. If you feel like you got to say something about what's going on, do it from the internet. Don't even involve yourself in that. Because somebody that's standing next to you does something stupid, it's a wrap for you. They're not going to play the radio here. And trust me, I've watched them turn up on more than one occasion. Why do you think Sheriff Grady Judd is so famous on YouTube? He will kill you. And he will let the citizens of Florida kill you, especially if you're from a different state and come down here doing that. They're not going to prosecute you. Yeah, Florida is like its own little world when it comes to that. It's a stay in your ground state. It's not going to be crazy here, Brian. I promise you it's not. They're not going to do that.
We invite that. But don't you dare break the law, because it won't go well for you. All right? Gentlemen, thank you, sir.
That man said, we'll kill you. Graveyard dead.
Is there any other comment?
Yeah, I think, our great governor, I think, said it well yesterday. If you're a family out there, you're driving, and all of a sudden you get surrounded by one of these angry demonstrations that's turned violent, you don't need to sit there and wait while people smash your window and damage your vehicle and put your family in jeopardy. You drive. Just drive. Get yourself out of harm's way. If somebody's in front of you and they're threatening your vehicle, you just drive. But we're grateful to have a great president and a governor that respect rule of law. And in Florida, you're not going to see anything like you're seeing in California. Agent Coker.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. As he said, my name is Anthony Coker. I'm an officer with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Department of Homeland Security. Recently, I was sent down here on behalf of ICE headquarters to represent local and state law enforcement.
You should have a right to protect yourself.
Mr. Attorney General, as a federal law enforcement officer who lives in the state of Florida, I would like to personally thank you on behalf of all federal law enforcement partners and our families who call Florida home. Knowing that you and the state of Florida have our backs while we perform these duties, we could rest easy, knowing and staying focused on the mission set forth by President Trump, Secretary Newsom, Acting Director Todd Lyons, and Deputy Director Madison Sheehanna. Thank you, sir.
I never have cared for cops, don't really care for authority, but I agree with this. If you surround my car with my family in the car, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They just have to figure it out, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. The only thing I would add to that is if you're in one of them areas, do not be in the middle or the left-hand lane. You stay in the right-hand lane, you keep a good 10 feet between you and that car in front of you. That way you can get around them. If it's on the sidewalk, run them over. You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah. Yeah. You could be in the left-hand lane, but don't be in the middle lanes, what he's saying. Don't get blocked in. But I'm going to tell you, they're not going to act that way down here. They know better. They know better. That's what this conference is for, is so they can't say, oh, we didn't know that it was going to turn that way.
Next we'll hear from Colonel Howes, Florida Highway Patrol.
Text, no.
Thank you, General. I'd like to thank Attorney General Othmeyer,
Not no more, don't.
Sheriff Ivey,
you
and your staff. Thank you for hosting us today, and all of you here in attendance. Thank you. Also, big thank you to our great governor, Ron DeSantis, and my boss, Executive Director Kerner, Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles,
man,
for supporting us. And
y'all took my damn Trans Am away. I will never like these motherfuckers.
The kind of lawlessness that we've witnessed on the streets of California will not be tolerated in Florida. We've seen violent protests escalate to riots, businesses destroyed, communities threatened, and law enforcement officers under attack. The individuals and groups perpetrating these crimes may be considered protesters in California, but in Florida, they're considered criminals. While certain elected officials elsewhere fail to empower and deploy law enforcement resources, they also fail very good law-abiding citizens that put them in office to provide for their public safety. We take a different approach in Florida. Governor DeSantis, Attorney General Othmeyer have led the charge in providing resources and empowering state and local law enforcement to be able to do their jobs.
They won't get crazy though, Deb. I doubt that.
The message is simple in the free state of Florida. We believe in the rule of law and order. Our citizens and their rights will be protected by our law enforcement. The members of the Florida Patrol have been meeting the challenges created by those seeking harm and selfishly taking advantage of others. Whether it's combating illegal immigration, stopping deadly motorists that are endangering others along our roadways, serving federal warrants, or assisting our federal and our local partners, the Highway Patrol will continue to answer the call. Make no mistake, we will not turn a blind eye to criminals endangering the safety of others and infringing on people's rights, trying to escape justice. Let me be clear on another point. The
That motherfucker hat look like Mickey Mouse
sanctuaries in
ears. You
Florida
notice that?
are to protect animals.
What's that?
Tell me that motherfucker's hat looks like Mickey Mouse ears. I swear they do. They're round. That's a complete round circle.
That's a trooper hat, bro.
Not criminals.
Look like you got Mickey Mouse ears turned inside down.
Florida is not a sanctuary state. The Florida Highway Patrol
got the same
has led
ones
the
here,
nation in
man.
287G immigration enforcement, and to date we have over 2,000 UDAs in recent months that we've encountered and apprehended.
I hate that for you,
We're
copper.
proud to work alongside our federal and our
Stay
state
on the water,
local
bro.
partners.
They won't be out
We're
there
just getting
riding
started.
out there, I promise you.
Our Florida sheriffs and municipal police are the best in America. And like no other place in the nation, we work together and coordinate very closely. We appreciate the trust we've earned from our federal partners who have sworn in the majority of your Florida state troopers to assist them as resource multipliers in their immigration and federal enforcement efforts. Our federal enforcement agencies have a sworn obligation to protect not just Florida, but our nation. That is why we are deeply disturbed at recent targeting of them and their families. These men and women risk their lives every day to protect our country.
Every day.
With that, the Florida Highway Patrol will do everything legally within our power to defend and stand alongside our federal law enforcement partners. We will not allow these officers to be threatened, harassed, or harmed while carrying out their duties on Florida soil, and I encourage other jurisdictions to adopt that also. For those who may consider committing crimes against law enforcement officers, your actions will be regretted. Florida law enforcement will exhaust every resource available to bring you to justice. And lastly, we recognize that behind every badge of a cop is a heartbeat of a selfless servant that's trying to make our communities safer for all of us. We don't forget that. So thank you, General Uthmeyer, for your support, not just of your Florida Highway Patrol, but of law enforcement in Florida. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we've got the best law enforcement in the country. Our leaders in Florida, we know full well what it means to put the badge on every day, knowing full well that it could be your last. And that line between right and wrong, good and bad, it is a heartbeat. It's people that put their lives on the line to keep our families safe. And we're going to fight as much as we can to keep Florida the safest state in the union. Last but not least, Florida's public safety czar, Larry Keefe.
Good morning. I'm going to sort of dovetail off Colonel Howe's
Does it take all these
a moment ago
motherfuckers
about
to stand up here? If they ain't talking, why the fuck they even up there? That never has made sense to me.
Every law enforcement officer, fed, state, local, behind that badge is a heartbeat is a real person that goes home after their shift. Hopefully, they're always at risk whenever they go out. So I'm going to speak and direct my remarks today on the families of the law enforcement officers, and also the time when they're not out on an operation or a mission.
Hey, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute.
I have a son who's a federal law enforcement officer. I had a brother who was a Florida police officer. I have some experience or frame of reference with the concern and worry that's always there. There's something very special and very different in a very important way about the families of our military, people who serve in the military, and our law enforcement officers. There's just something special and unique and just extraordinarily honorable about that. And that's because of particularly good reason, and that's because they are special and different.
Yeah.
And to
I'm not
at least my
saying that they
perspective,
won't
appreciating
protest here.
the specialness.
But what I am saying is they ain't gonna be doing that shit that they were doing down there in California. I'll tell you that. They been protesting in Texas yet?
Yeah, but they ain't got out of line. Now, I think it was Donna was saying about San Antonio Day, but I hadn't watched any of it. She said it got flooded out. But they ain't got too crazy here, man. I live on you got Dallas.
It always starts in fucking California. It seems like they always got some shit going on up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. here you got Dallas, which is pretty
why
much
they're different is related to the overall.
Do I know?
Well, here you got Dallas is blue, and Fort Worth is red. They ain't gonna be none of that in Fort Worth, and Fort Worth has a ton of Hispanic community, but they're legal people, man, and it's just not gonna move this way. Dallas, Austin.
Hey, and look at here. There's nothing wrong with being patriotic and loving the place that you come from. There's nothing wrong with that. But listen, you send all these people over here, and it is not right for fucking people to have to foot the bill for these illegals like what they're making them do. And that's really what's going on. And the people that support that, well, how come you don't open your home up and let them come stay with you over there? And you pay for them directly out of your pocket. And see, like a lot of our trades and shit, like we started to talk about the other day, there is nobody to replace the people that's retiring from there. And that's because that they have a lot of these illegals that will work for way cheaper, and nobody's going to work that hard for that cheaper money, man. It's just as, you know what I mean? It's not fair. What's up, Mama Payday? Miss Carolyn, how you doing?
Hey, Payday.
644. I didn't mean to cut. I kind of meant to cut you off, but I had to say something about that.
Oh, that's all right, Will. I'm used to it, bro. Not from you, but I'm used to it.
I'm sorry, bro. But so you saying that most of your places is kind of even up, red and blue?
Well, Dallas is like say blue, Fort Worth's red, and Dallas is a lot bigger, but they're not doing all that like they were doing in California. Even when they were in Dallas and stuff, they were protesting, but they were kind of being behaved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all right to protest, but you cannot tear people's stuff down, dude.
Absolutely.
The people are not the ones that's doing it. It is the fucking president of the United States. So why should a mom and pop shop pay for the price of what somebody else is enforcing? You understand? They knew they come over here illegally. They was trying to pull a fast one, thought they was going to get hooked up. And if you have not went and tried to get legal by now, then I don't know what to tell you.
All notion of what I call the blue line of law enforcement, the separation, complete anarchy and chaos in order, in structure, and predictability, so we can live our lives, so we can educate our children, raise our families, worship freely as we wish.
You surround me.
And really, at the end of the day, the only thing separating us
big ass trouble hook
from one or the other,
you like 60-pound
chaos
at about
is that blue line. I saw in the sheriff's office a flag with the blue line, and it is exactly that. But unfortunately, it's a very thin blue line that separates us, separates those two things, order and chaos. And that, in my perspective, enables everything else. Education, transportation, economics, all those other things. All the things that make up our lives.
It was a treat.
If you don't have the predictability and the ability to wake up each day and know that you can go about your lives and go about your business with that trust of stability, that means everything. The Attorney General has on his challenge coin the words safe, strong, and free. All of us are able to live safe, strong, and free, at least in the state of Florida, because of that thin blue line. Well, as everyone has mentioned and everyone's spoken of and everyone has seen the news recently, it reminds us of the summer of 2020 with the riots.
And nobody went to jail in 2020. They can't show you one motherfucker and went to jail for that shit over there. And it's because it happened in a Democratic state. But when the Republicans rioted on January 6th, the fucking FBI was involved. Now you tell me, you make that make sense, how that's right. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you now, if it was the Democratic Party, nobody would have went to jail.
Chaos and the burning and the disruption and the disorder. All of those things seem to be being revisited upon us. And the way I look at that is there are people who, a fair election, they're not successful in imposing their worldview through election. They're not effective at formulating their message and conveying their message of their worldview via peaceful protest, as the sheriff pointed out, which is sacred protective activity in this country. But what these people seek to do is impose their will on you and our country through rioting, through acts of terror, fear, intimidation, and those things. And we've seen that visited upon cities and shutting down roadways to disrupt and interrupt your life to where just to make it stop, you'll tolerate whatever it is that they want you to do. There is a new tactic, which has been adverted to in some of the earlier remarks, and that is the idea of not just going after disrupting the establishment, disrupting the people that voted in elections, disrupted the people that are trying to raise their family and live their lives, but of zeroing in and putting in the crosshairs the law enforcement officers that are out in conducting their missions, in this instance, enforcing immigration law, and then those who are trying to protect them while they're doing their job to enforce immigration law, and you've seen it on TV, spitting on them, throwing bricks at them, all the horribles that you heard gone through. But there's a new and different tactic, and that is to get behind the officer, the faceless, nameless officer, to find out who that officer is, where they live, who their family is, where they live, and releasing this personally identifying information. Because the strategy is, if you get inside the head of that law enforcement officer and that law enforcement officer's family, those special, unique, and different people, if you get inside their head, they'll back off. They'll lay back, like we saw in the summer of 2020, where they just stayed in their cars. They abandoned government buildings just to let them burn at the whims of the prevailing politicians of the day. That is the new tactic. That is why we're here today, because the state of Florida, laws are words on paper, and they mean nothing unless you have the ability to back it up. And so law enforcement in the state of Florida is a pretty sacred thing, as you all know from our governor, our attorney general, and all of our leadership in Florida. It's a big deal here. We are not California. So the state of Florida, as announced by the attorney general today, has taken on this posture that Florida is going to honor.
That's what's up. That's what's up. They shouldn't be doxing these people. The fact that they let them is crazy, I wonder how they're finding out all this stuff. Do you remember when I said sometime last year that my child had come home from school and knew who I voted for and all that shit, had our address and all that shit online? That was crazy.
Oh, it is, bro. It's everywhere. It's the same thing here. I can look that up. If there's an election, I can go on there and look. It tells me who voted for who and all that. And it shouldn't be there, man.
Old nutcase was live again, I guess.
Sherry, you right. And old man Walton wouldn't put up with that if he is still alive.
Well, I don't know what the hell the deal is with that shit and who's funding it, but I'll tell you, if they figure out who's funding it, they ought to bust their ass. Montauk, what's up? Shady J. Let me see. Oh shit, they talking about damn the Hodge twins was talking about that shooting. I think that's why they took that live down, to be honest with you. I think that might have been why they took it down. But I don't know how the hell they played it. Fucking crazy. Let me see if we can see if I can find something. So they said that they arrested the judge too.
I don't know what you're talking about, Will, to be honest.
Oh no, they had a judge that had did some kind of crazy shit.
Raids in the city are
interfering with what they were trying to do about as far as these raids was, and they arrested him. I heard something about it on the news. Yeah,
lock him up.
I think it was a her.
Or her. I don't discriminate. Yeah, it don't matter. Lock them up.
Are now being supported by federal troops, despite state and local authorities continuing to say they're not needed. NBC's Liz Kreutz has the latest from Los Angeles.
Well, hey there. Yeah, things continue to be pretty active in downtown LA right now with that curfew now lifted. You can see there's still a very large police presence here. Protests are growing across the country. There was activity in Las Vegas, Spokane, Seattle overnight. And here, as you're seeing this police motorcade go, last night there was another big protest in downtown LA. Demonstrators gathered out.
You know, for a long time, man, like through the 80s and 90s, other than a couple little things, we never had this shit going on until you get all of these different cultures together over here. And
And the government, dude, they just try to drive a wedge between people, whether it's race, politics, economic standing.
Steadily gaslighting them, bro. Steadily gaslighting these people. And most of them don't even know what the fuck they're fighting for. That's the crazy part. You know what I mean? Look, hey, I am a firm believer of somebody coming here to start a better life. But if I have to follow the law every day when I go to work or I'm out in public or whatever, so should you. You know, what makes you more special than me? And why in the fuck should you live better than I do? And I'm the one over here working and putting the bill. That's not fair to me, you, or anybody else that pays taxes. It's just not. That's what they were saying. They were funding them with motel rooms, airplane flights to the city of their choice, food, healthcare, all that shit, anything they needed. You know, there's people here, man, especially like veterans and shit that don't get the care that they need, and they've taken a chance with their life to fucking for our freedoms and shit. And you mean you're gonna tell me you're gonna put an illegal alien over a veteran? That just don't sound right, man. There's just something that's not right about
it. It ain't right at all. Period. I
mean, yeah, Joseph, I have to agree with that. People have got soft, but you know, people used to not act this way. You know what I mean? People used to, I don't never remember all these riots and shit going on.
Of City Hall.
But then again, we didn't have social media
very peaceful, these protesters, but police in riot gear a full hour and a half before the 8 p.m. curfew went into effect. Police in riot gear and on horseback charged into the protesters, chasing protesters, trying to disperse the crowds. We were there, our team, we almost got kind of run over as well. It's just a sign that these clashes are not ending anytime soon. We have reached out to LAPD to ask them why did they kind of disperse the crowds in this way a full hour and a half before the 8 p.m. curfew. They have not responded to that question. But protesters tell us they are going to continue taking to the streets. They say they will be out here as long as the National Guard and Marines are. Back to you.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. So they're trying to use that. They're trying to use that as like a fucking reason why they're doing it. And that ain't no reason. Let me see here. That shit that's so fucking stupid. Let's see what the fuck Trump talking about.
Smart mouth mofo, I agree with you. That's good breakfast.
I ain't hear what you said, Tex. I had that shit playing in my ears. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, I was smart mouth. Listen, the pizza is good for breakfast. I love pizza in the morning, man.
Yeah, sometimes I get burned out on that shit though, because the old lady, boy, she don't feel like cooking. You can bet your ass you eating Domino's. It's like, come on.
I think he's a guy who he's just got a faulty thought process. You look at that train. The train is the most. I've seen stupid people with cost overruns for years. I've watched where something would cost twice as much or 3 times, but this thing is costing 20 times more. It's the most incredible disaster I've ever seen. That's one. The cars are just as bad. Everything's bad. And now you have this situation. So his own sheriff, who's a good man, by the way, said 2 days ago or 3 days ago that we could not have done this without the military. They were going to take over this whole, they couldn't have done it. Now today they got him to change his tune. He said, Oh, I think we could have handled it. It's so sad. He was so honest. I was using his quote all over the place, and they got him to change. But he knows.
Damn right.
Los Angeles would be right now burning just like the houses burned to the ground. It's so sad what's going on in Los Angeles. Think of it. They had a fire that should have never had because they should have listened to me in the water. Eventually, we broke in and we had the water come down from the Pacific Northwest. I could show you pictures now with the half pipes, the big half pipes coming all the way down California. Water, so much water. They don't have any droughts. They don't have any. They have so much water. They sent it all out to the Pacific Ocean for 20 years. So ridiculous. And we got them to take it now. But what they do and what they're doing, this is a big problem. And
the fucking ocean is right there. What do you mean you had to pipe water in from the Pacific Northwest? Why didn't you just fucking pump it out the ocean? I don't get that. They got big sea. Well, I guess because the building's burning, but that don't make no sense, man. In California, they have water shortages there.
Oh yeah, they do, but it's government caused.
They ought to have some kind of emergency plan set in place where they're pumping that shit from the ocean, for fires and stuff. Where they can just, like, all the hydrants and shit ought to be, because they're all made out of brass and shit anyway. If I'm saying it right, where they can pump fucking seawater. But you don't have to distill seawater to put a fire out. You know what I mean? Shit.
No.
Salt water put that motherfucker out, I promise you.
Hell, 2 years ago.
What's up, Jack? Average Port?
When our whole county was burning up, they had them government planes up here in this lake dive in and get the water. I mean, they can do that with salt water, lake water, any kind of water, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were in a bad drought 2 years ago. This county burned up, man.
Really want to do is keep criminals because they're trying to protect criminals.
What you drinking, Dad?
Sanctuary cities are a disaster in this country. And most of the voters don't want them. Politicians like them for whatever reason, but I think the politicians are wrong. That's why we won in such a convincing fashion. We won all 7 swing states. We won by millions of votes. We won 2,750 districts as opposed to 505. That's why when you look at the map, it's almost all red. It's got 2 little blue stripes on each side of it. It's almost all red. But now you have to, I always got along with Gavin. I like Gavin. I've liked him always. He said I never called him. They asked him a question on Fox, I guess. I never spoke to him. He doesn't remember the call. He doesn't remember. I never spoke. And then I produced a phone call. I had it. It took me about 2 minutes. I said, well, here's the call. It lasted 16 minutes and 4 seconds. And it was at 12:30 in the evening. I actually made a call, didn't pick up. I called him a second time, and he picked up. And I told him, I said, you have to get your ass in gear because you're going to have a problem there. And he would have. If we didn't bring the military in, you would have right now something. And I went through it because I follow the rules 100%. And I watched in Minnesota where you have the man who ran for vice president of the United States. Fortunately, he was a disaster. But he wouldn't call in the National Guard. And I eventually called in the National Guard, but it was seven days late. I said, I'll never do that again. I'm never going to, if I see problems brewing, if they're not going to do the problem, I'm not going to wait 2 weeks. Because that city, Minneapolis, burned down. If you remember the CNN anchor, he was standing there saying, yes, this is a peaceful rally. And behind him, the entire city was on fire. Looked like World War II. And I appreciate the question.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-host, Harris.
My motherfucker said the city was burning down behind him. That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's not a fucking peaceful protest. You know what I mean? That's just, what do you do though,
Oh, it goes back to what you said earlier. When the Democrats in there, dude, when Biden first took over, we had, let's see, BLM, Antifa, the Me Too movement. They all tried coming down to this town I lived in. It didn't work out too good for them. A bunch of them got busted. The rest of them got turned around on their bus within 10 minutes and headed out of here.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. Like Deb just said just a minute ago, who the fuck is funding this shit? And whoever's funding this needs to be charged, and not just taken to court and let bonded out. These motherfuckers need to go to jail a couple times. They'll stop this shit.
Well, if they can dig into our life and dig into everything we do on the phone, on the computers, on any of that, they can't track that. Them people in California, most of them, there's a Craigslist ad to hire them for $6,000 to $12,000 to do this shit.
Yeah, that's what somebody was saying yesterday. It might have been you.
It wasn't me, but they did it. I mean, I looked at it this morning.
That's crazy. That is fucking wild, man.
But if this is George Soros, they need to kick his ass out of this country, man.
Lock him up, man, for fucking treason, for terroristic acts.
But instead of focusing on undocumented immigrants was serious,
I'll start.
I want to say a few words about the events of the last few days. This past weekend, federal agents conducted large-scale workplace raids in and around Los Angeles. Those raids continue as I speak. California is no stranger to immigration enforcement, but instead of focusing on undocumented immigrants with serious criminal records and people with final deportation orders,
which is bullshit from what the Lazy R said today.
This administration is pushing mass deportations, indiscriminately targeting hardworking immigrant families, regardless of their roots or risk. What's happening right now is very different than anything we've seen before. On Saturday morning, when federal agents jumped out of an unmarked van near a Home Depot parking lot, they began grabbing people, a deliberate targeting of a heavily Latino suburb. A similar scene played out when a clothing company was raided downtown.
That's
In
a
other
business.
actions, a U.S. citizen, 9 months pregnant, was arrested. A 4-year-old girl taken, families separated, friends quite literally disappearing. In response, everyday Angelenos came out to exercise their constitutional right to free speech and assembly, to protest their government's actions. In turn, the state of California and the city and county of Los Angeles sent our police officers to help keep the peace. And with some exceptions, they were successful. Like many states, California is no stranger to this sort of unrest. We manage it regularly and with our own law enforcement. But this, again, was different. What then ensued was the use of tear gas, flashbang grenades, rubber bullets. Federal agents detaining people and undermining their due process rights. Donald Trump, without consulting California law enforcement leaders, commandeered 2,000 of our state's National Guard members to deploy on our streets, illegally and for no reason. This brazen abuse of power by a city president inflamed a combustible situation, putting our people, our officers, and even our National Guard at risk. That's when the downward spiral began. He doubled down on his dangerous National Guard deployment by fanning the flames even harder. And the president, he did it on purpose. As the news spread throughout LA.
Carl, I'm going to tell you right now, you probably ought to quit. You probably ought to stop where you head, man. Just leave people alone, because you ain't going to do nothing but cry when somebody gets on your ass. Don't come picking, because you're going to whine. Start taking Snapchats or fucking screenshots and messages and shit so you can fucking cry about it later. Chill out, homie.
Anxiety for family and friends ramped up. Protests started again. By night, several dozen lawbreakers became violent and destructive. They vandalized property. They tried to assault police officers. Many of you have seen the video clips of cars burning on cable news. If you incite violence, I want to be clear about this. If you incite violence or destroy our communities, you're going to be held to account. That kind of criminal behavior will not be tolerated. Full stop. Already more than 220 people have been arrested, and we're reviewing tapes to build additional cases, and people will be prosecuted
Is it really?
to the fullest extent of the law. Again, thanks to our law enforcement officers and the majority of Angelenos who protested peacefully, the situation was winding down and was concentrated in just a few square blocks downtown. But that's not what Donald Trump wanted. He again chose escalation. He chose more force. He chose theatrics over public safety. He federalized another 2,000 Guard members. He deployed more than 700 active U.S. Marines. These are the men and women trained for foreign combat, not domestic law enforcement. We honor their service.
What does it say? To serve and protect against foreign and domestic terrorists. Ain't that what it says? Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. I mean, I could have swore that that's what it said.
You ain't wrong.
We honor their bravery, but we do not want our streets militarized by our own armed forces. Not in LA, not in California, not anywhere. We're seeing unmarked cars in school parking lots, kids afraid of attending their own graduation. Trump is pulling a military dragnet all across.
He said he was going to.
Well beyond his stated intent to just go after
violence. Did you think the man lied when he said, hey, we going to sick them people on you when I get in the White House? He told everybody what he was going to do. This goofy bastard acts like it comes as a surprise. What's up, Blue Eyes? Yeah, I call bullshit too. Yeah, this dude right here, he is, him and Carl ride the same bus to school, for sure.
He's a nut, dude.
His agents are arresting dishwashers, gardeners, day laborers, and seamstresses.
Of course.
That's just weakness masquerading as strength. Donald Trump's government isn't protecting our communities. They're traumatizing our communities. And that seems to be the entire point. California will keep fighting. We'll keep fighting on behalf of our people, all of our people, including in the courts. Just yesterday, we filed a legal challenge to Donald Trump's reckless deployment of American troops to a major American city. Today, we sought an emergency court order to stop the use of the American military to engage in law enforcement activities across Los Angeles. If some of us could be snatched off the streets without a warrant, based only on suspicion or skin color, then none of us are safe. Authoritarian
they've been doing it the whole
by
time,
targeting people
Goofy.
who are least
They've
able
been
to
doing
defend
it to the
themselves.
black
But
community
they do not-
forever. What are you talking about? This stop and frisk law, right? Where they could fucking stop and search them just because they thought. You remember that shit?
Yeah, but that was in New York, man. I don't know if California had that or not, Will. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just crazy though. This motherfucker here don't get what terrorism is. When you're an illegal alien and you're over here burning shit down and you're fucking destroying shit, waving another flag, you're pretty much a fucking terrorist at that point. You know?
I agree.
And somebody told me that they was having to tell these dumb fucks to, hey, stop waving the Mexican flag, start waving the American flag. And so they started doing that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Not stop there. Trump and his loyalists, they thrive on division because it allows them to take more power and exert even more control.
This is a republic.
And by the way, Trump, he's not opposed to lawlessness and violence as long as it serves him. What more evidence do we need than January 6th?
Oh, here we
Ask
go.
everyone.
Here we go. Yeah, January.
Take time. Reflect.
You take time and tell us how many people went to jail for rioting in 2020 up there.
On this perilous moment, a president who wants to be bound by no law or constitution, perpetuating a unified assault on American traditions. This is a president who in just over 140 days has fired government watchdogs that could hold him accountable for corruption and fraud. He's declared a war on culture, on history, on science, on knowledge itself. Databases, quite literally, are vanishing. He's delegitimizing news organizations, and he's assaulting the First Amendment. And the threat of defunding them At threat, he's dictating what universities themselves can teach. He's targeting law firms and the judicial branch that are the foundations of an orderly and civil society. He's calling for a sitting governor to be arrested for no other reason than to, in his own words, for getting elected. And we all know this Saturday, he's ordering our American heroes, the United States military, and forcing them to put on a vulgar display to celebrate his birthday, just as other failed dictators have done in the past. Look, this isn't just about protests here in Los Angeles. When Donald Trump sought blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard, he made that order apply to every state in this nation. This is about all of us. This is about you. California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes.
Sorry about that, Charlie. I didn't catch that, dude.
He's taking a wrecking ball to our founding fathers' historic project. 3 co-equal branches of independent government. No longer any checks and balances. Congress is nowhere to be found. Speaker Johnson has completely abdicated that responsibility. The rule of law has increasingly been given way to the rule of Don. The founding fathers, they didn't live and die to see this kind of moment. It's time for all of us to stand up. Justice Brandeis, he said it best. In a democracy, the most important office, with all due respect, Mr. President, is not the presidency. And it's certainly not governor. The most important office is office of citizen. At this moment, we all need to stand up, be held to account, a higher level of accountability.
This motherfucker trying to gaslight people.
If you exercise your First Amendment rights, please do it peacefully. I know many of you are feeling deep anxiety, stress, and fear, but I want you to know that you are the antidote to that fear and that anxiety. What Donald Trump wants most is your fealty, your silence to be complicit in this moment. Do not give in to him.
All right, Blue Eyes, appreciate you for stopping by, man. That's crazy. That dude is a fucking whack job, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, so what was going on in the chat with this doxing BS?
Yeah, somebody doxed Charlie. Sorry about that, Charlie. I didn't catch it. That is cowardly.
I didn't see it either, but motherfuckers need to get on there and look that shit up. Like in this state, that's a crime.
Yeah, well, it's not even so much about the crime. It's just that's cowardly trying to fuck with somebody like that. It's childish shit. I mean, you don't do nothing but show your intelligence level when you do that shit. To me, that's crazy. That's just that's fucking kid behavior, man. There's a lot of people on here, though, bro, that stuck with that child mentality. They think they're better than everybody else. And to fuck with somebody, they gonna dox them. Like, somebody's really gonna fucking pull up. Half these motherfuckers that do that shit don't have the gas money to leave their own house. It is, Kay. It's silly. It's silly.
It slays me, and this sounds stupid, I guess, but it slays me that a ton of these people on here run their mouth and they be jaw breaking all day long, all night long, with their fucking face on the goddamn camera. I could slide up next to these motherfuckers; they wouldn't even know who I am. I just pop the shit out of them. I mean, I ain't above doing the cold cocking somebody. I ain't gonna sit there and say, we're gonna fight. You want the first shot? The fuck all that. I just don't get these people on here, man. Pull up, motherfucker. Shit. Sorry, Will. That shit just pissed me off the last 2 or 3 days. I'm tired of hearing all that shit.
Go tell Smart Mouth to get his shit together, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, y'all.
This guy's you're slow, Carl. No, Uncle Will, you're a fucking not protected piece of shit. And when I come and I say something, and then you try and put me down for shit you're talking about, Go fuck your hat, you cowards. Go tell Smart Mouth to get his shit together. You know what I mean?
Smart mouth, get your shit together.
You guys got some real fucking mental problems in there. In your heads, ears. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. Uncle Will, maybe it's about time we let the world know why it's fucking mental, because motherfucking mental cases like you run around doing whatever the fuck you want, thinking there's no repercussions, eh, buddy? Don't worry, you're not the only one. There's lots and lots and lots and lots. You guys are faked and fooled by everybody, right? It's Men's Mental Health Awareness, yeah. And I've been trying to make fucking note of it. Hey, these are the work issue problems I had. I can't even talk about it. These guys will fucking twist it on me. You're a victim, Carl. You're a victim. No, I don't want any more victims, you fucking turd. That's why I wanted to end.
Y'all want me to change
I wanted fucking something for myself. I would have sued. Fucking
all
retards
someone knows,
can't
where
even
does that
listen to
motherfucker get
somebody
them
for 2
caps?
fucking seconds. Because
Where's that? I ain't never seen no caps with a bill like that on in my life.
Well, that's when they buy them neutered that way, and normally you shape them, right? But this dumb fuck, he thinks they look cool. He's 50. I couldn't get him to tell us his age, but he's over 50. And
Well,
he's mad at you, smart mouth. He is mad at you.
You don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear how you're the bad guy. Hey, buddy, you don't want to hear how you're the bad guy. Hey, little me. Listen, buddy, you're so ashamed of yourself. You don't even show your face. Why don't you one time just get out there, bud, and show your little face off?
He's talking little me now.
Because you're ashamed of it. You're scared of what people will think if they know what you look like.
Little me totally. I think little me has showed his face, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, buddy, you're a tough guy, huh?
Let's see if I read it.
You're out there trying to fuck with people's heads, and you'll get yours. Oh, Martin speaks. I totally exposed Charlie. Well, good for you, Martin. Good for you. Why don't you go? You've been exposing yourself too for a long time, dude. Go listen to yourself. Maybe you'll find out how to fix yourself. I don't know, dude.
Watch this.
It's like Ryan Garcia. I just seen him. He's on X. The LA riots. I voted for Trump. I'm a man of Jesus. No, you're not. Men of Jesus do not tell people to put their fucking.
Watch.
Do not take
this
steroids.
This gonna piss him off.
They do not fucking say
all I
the
gotta
shit
do
that
is
he
say
just
you
said.
drinking cheap soda, and that motherfucker go off.
He's just playing a role. So that people like me sound crazy, eh, Uncle Will? Like people like me. Oh, there's UFOs out there, maybe. Oh boy. Yeah, he played that, right? Crazy Christian out there, eh? Kids
What's
getting
up,
hurt, you know
motivator?
how to skip too, right? Y'all thought it was crazy. Fucking Rocco's boyfriend there. But then again, any man who says they're with Jesus and they're just fucking not.
Oh, he's projecting right now.
And they're purposely trying to fool people. I think they're in big trouble. John Jones is a fucking joke.
What's going on, motivator? Hope you're doing
That's
all right,
almost hilarious. Well, in my religion of Christianity, we
Oh,
can fuck
yeah,
up and fuck
average
up, and
or
nobody's
bad.
perfect, and well, Jesus just forgives us. Hey,
Hey,
Johnny.
So Carl wants to act like he doesn't ever message me on IG, which he don't a lot, but I fuck with him when I'm bored. I just try to call him on there just because I know it pisses him off. But today, when he messaged me, I was like, Carl, listen, if you're so chosen by God, I want you to go to the church Sunday and stand up in front of the whole congregation at the end of the church, and you try to rally them people. Let them know just how chosen you are. Oh, that fired him up, boy. It wasn't a couple minutes later, he was live talking shit. It was funny. I was like, damn, Carl, you're just too fucking easy.
You did good handling him yesterday. You was cool, calm, and collected, and he just couldn't deal.
Nah.
I'm glad a lot of people showed up because I do not want to be on the panel with that dude. I don't.
Nah, that was my fault, man. I
No,
shouldn't
it's
let him
okay. I mean, it's okay. I just I try to keep myself out of the fray, bro, for the most part.
He dude, I know his fucking mind is fucked up, right? And there ain't no coming back from him. But listen, he's asked for it, and I feel like I'd heard it enough, and I just fuck with him back. You know what I mean?
I woke up at, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning this morning, maybe 5. I don't know. But the only one that was live was New Buck, right? And I was sitting there watching that stuff a little bit, and I just put in the chat. I said, "This is the planet of the Earth, the planet of the apes, or something." I said, "The most sane one out there right now of this phrase, Goble." This is crazy, man.
Oh shit! Let's see what he got to say.
You're in the fight of your life now, buddy. Hey, are you a superstar now? Are you a pound for pound great? When you have to get that intestinal fortitude that you really need. Do you have it in you, Johnny? Hey, Uncle Will, you're scared, aren't you? That's all. Why are you scared? Either you're scared to go down with the maps, or you're just scared of their power, eh, bud? But then you tell me to shut my mouth and that I'm going to get hurt, right?
Did I say he was going to get hurt?
You're a clown. You know that, right?
I did say you're going to get trouble.
You go to hell. You get to go to hell if there's a hell, right?
Oh, now
you got to admit that. You're a lying piece of fucking garbage, right?
What's up, Jay? This dude
that
is
means hell. Why do you want that?
If there's a hell now, if this dude thinks he's chosen, he's going to say if.
Why be so ignorant and stupid? One was second, one was dang Jehovah Witness, folks. I don't know why they came here. Guess they were called. I don't really know what you're trying to say there. Stardust, what?
Turkey Valley Road. Oh, yeah.
I don't know, little me. You think you're out there helping people? You think you're out there helping mental health, eh?
All right. We'll just pause him for a little while. We'll put him on the back burner.
I want to say a few words about
the up. Nobody wants to hear your ass again.
As I speak.
I might have let him up if you wasn't up here, but I know you didn't want to deal with him.
Oh, you can let him up. I'll bounce, man. No problem.
Oh, he ain't coming back now. He is on fire, man. He's on fire.
I just don't want to say a bunch of stuff I'm going to regret next day.
So what are they doing differently in Florida? Joining us now is the state's governor, Ron DeSantis. Hi, Governor. Good to see you tonight. Now, I understand you offered Gavin Newsom help in handling his unrest. I understand that didn't go over too well.
Yeah, they accused us of trying to, quote, escalate. But I can tell you what escalates the situation is being a sanctuary state. What escalates the situation is tolerating the looting and the rioting and the burning of these vehicles and attacks on law enforcement. And we do it just the opposite in Florida. When the 2020 riots were happening in Minneapolis, California, all these other places, we didn't let that happen in Florida. But we also recognize, like, this is what the left does. So we did landmark anti-rioting legislation. So in Florida, if you riot, if you loot, if you engage in any type of mob violence, you are not going to be treated like they treat you in Portland, where you get a slap on the wrist and then just get put right back on the street. If you do that in Florida, you're going to jail and you're going to be held accountable. And we've had, when we did that legislation, people said, oh, they don't want protests. And we've had a lot of protests on various issues. Heck, Laura, every time I get out of bed, somebody's protesting things that I'm doing here in Florida. But that happens and it's peaceful. And the minute you cross that line, that's when we will go into action. And I know they're trying to do stuff this weekend all across the United States. And I don't know exactly what they have planned for Florida, but I'll tell you this, we're ready. Our local law enforcement's ready. Our state agencies are poised. And even our National Guard, if need be, will be there to quell any violence or any unrest if people make that dumb decision to do it.
Yeah. Governor, you referenced the Saturday resistance, no kings, some tedious branded protest across the country. But they're kind of these pop-up protests. Again, they're organized. About 1,800 of them are planned, including more than 75 they're claiming in Florida itself. And that's the same day Trump is planning the military parade in D.C., Flag Day, Army's 250th anniversary celebration, which in and of itself, that's driving the left crazy. They hate any display of.
I will say this, and I don't know if it's just a coincidence or if he's doing it on purpose or what, but you know who else in history did the military parade, don't you? On their birthday. You know who did that, don't you?
Nope.
Hitler.
Oh, well.
I know, but that is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something else too, man. You know, and I don't know if you watch like this, everything that I post, or if you watch anything that I post, but I posted a short not long ago. I was like, look here, you pot smoking hippies. You know, when you celebrate 420, you're celebrating Adolf Hitler's birthday. You know that, right? Because that is his birthday, April 20th. I thought that was kind of crazy.
Of patriotism or celebrating of the military. They can't stand that. So, Governor, how are you preparing for these supposedly 75 protests across your state?
With shotguns. That's how.
Our folks are ready at the state level. I mean, I think, as you know, the local police will be the first to respond if anything goes wrong. County sheriffs will be there as well. We have our state law enforcement on standby. They'll be ready to go, whether it's the Highway Patrol, whether it's Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And then we do have National Guard who will be ready.
This motherfucker got on Instagram talking about, hey, if they fucking surround your car, run them the fuck over. Don't be no sitting duck for these idiots. I was like,
But I got to tell you, we've dealt with this pretty effectively in the past. I mean, one of the things they're doing in Los Angeles, yes, you know,
it'd be awesome to put one of them fucking cattle bumpers on the front of my truck that I could electrify. You know what I'm saying? Like a shocker, cattle prod. And when they get up there and start leaning on it, just let them. Fuck them up. That'd be funny as shit. Video that shit.
But see, here's where California and these other states, like when we were having a problem bad 2 years ago with our border, Florida helped us, Tennessee helped us, Alabama helped us, Louisiana helped us. You know, I mean, it's like, kind of stick together and help each other, you know, like during these power storms and hurricanes.
Yeah, of course, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right, but them northern states, these liberal states don't do that. They don't help each other. They don't give a shit.
Now listen, these folks that come here from them liberal states or whatever they are, democratic states, whatever you want to call them, I wish they wouldn't even move here, because all they're going to do is fuck this place up too, the way that they voted. And I hope it don't never happen, but it is what it is though, you know.
You see all that. They also just take over streets. Look, if you don't have a permit to take over streets, you can't just interrupt traffic. The Hamas people tried to do this when they were doing that a year or so ago. They tried it in Miami. They were kicked off the road in 13 minutes. They tried it in Central Florida. Our Highway Patrol got them out of there in 11 minutes. So you're going to be held accountable. The inmates are not going to run the asylum. So it's a bad decision to try to pull that nonsense in Florida.
Yeah, we're looking at live pictures, Governor, in L.A. of some of these, quote, protesters flying the Mexican flag from the back of a truck. And again, a lot of these streets, police are trying to free up so people can actually move uninhibited and without fear or intimidation. But it looks like they're going to have some more problems potentially on their hands in Los Angeles. But, Governor,
that's crazy.
People have to understand it's a lot of this is really nothing to do with immigration. This is to do with destabilization of the country. The groups organizing this are all about that. The migrants are just pawns in all this. I really don't think they care about the construction sites or the fry cooks. They don't care about those people, just like they didn't care about George Floyd.
Yeah, look, I think that I do think the left is passionately committed to open borders. I think they are offended that President Trump would actually do his oath of office and enforce the law. But I think you're right in the sense that this is just the latest pretext. It was the Hamas stuff a year and a half ago. It was the BLM back in 2020. And so they are going to find something to be able to go. And they're funded. And we know these Soros groups are funded. And that's one of the things we're looking at in Florida. Any of these groups that are trying to dox ICE agents, as you say, Laura, that's not about immigration. That's about trying to destabilize law enforcement operations in this country. We're going to come down hard on them if they're interfering or threatening our law enforcement personnel. But these are well-funded. This is the left in action, and it is part of a larger agenda than just immigration.
All right, Governor, thank you very much.
Finally, man. Let me.
So what do they do?
It's about time. Y'all want to fuck with this idiot some more?
You fucking destroyed Cuba. You fucking destroyed Cuba because you let a fucking little communist get in the way of fucking, you let those fucking, but you'll fucking feed China with job after job after job after job after job, selling them your fucking future. But when you get your future back, what's your future? It's in Qatar. In Qatar, where you get to build weapons and AI. AI. The big, beautiful bill, retards. Listen, retards, American retards. You're all fucking stupid. 10 years, retards, on non-regulated fucking AI, retards, dumb motherfucking American pieces of fucking garbage who are ruining the fucking world. You're not the greatest country in the world. You're the biggest debt in the world. You're the biggest losers, like Donald fucking Trump. Get your fucking head out of your ass, Paula.
Who rattled this bitch cage?
You don't stand for God, you fucking loser.
I guess I did.
You let George Soros take your children without a fucking fight at all. You're a loser. Just like Leg Day. In comes Leg Day, being the big old fucking one-legged loser he is.
Leg Day said, Carl just talked to Jesus and he said, heaven has been canceled until further notice.
Girl, I'm gonna nail your wife with my big old dinky. You're a loser. Who am I? Stardust, someone who stands up for the right things, who says what he's not afraid to fucking say because it's true. Weapons of mass destruction is the biggest joke this world has ever seen. And George W. Bush fucking killed your fucking soldiers and Afghan.
Oh, shit. They done got Carl. Oh, maybe not.
And fucking Iraqi fucking civilians. George Bush did that. Look at the Georgie Bush's fucking family background. Wake the fuck up. What is a map? It's a minor attracted person. You know how they're trying to tell you now, it's not really their fault. They're just born like that. We gotta help them. Yeah, help them get over their shit, but have you heard what they want? Like, it's disgusting. Trying to normalize it.
Jay, the bodyguard in there.
Independence to who, right? The who? The Bill Gates wants to who, eh? You ever check out their ages for adolescents and stuff like that? Someone needs a welfare check. No, you need a welfare check, retard. What do I say that's wrong? I want to protect my grandkids. I say to you retards, hey, if I'm wrong, let me know. Because if I'm a retard, I don't want to be a retard because I think you're retarded.
Hey, Will.
Eyes open. Keep it up.
What's up?
You're the one that probably wants to touch kids because you want the elites to run wild all over the streets. Get your fucking head out of your ass, moron.
I appreciate you coming up.
No biggie, man.
A Canadian that needs to utilize this free mental health care. I know it, Retro Dad. This dude is fucking crazy, man. If y'all want me to talk this, I will. I just think it's funny when he gets going like this. I find it quite fucking entertaining.
you're going to have to live with your own decisions and the way you want to treat people. When you find out there's a God, sweet dreams, sweetheart, because you're going to have Cheap Trick, the dream police on fucking repeat. The dream police, they live inside of my head.
Yeah,
the dream police.
yes. Yes.
Hey, how would you feel if you
All
found
I
out there
told
was a
him
God
was
and you're
shut
not
the
allowed
fuck
to be a
up.
coward to be with him? And you got to do the right things. Oh, that really sucked for you, wouldn't it? Tell Joe to make sure she shaves that pretty little kitty, meow, meow, for the next date, eh? I'll let her know. Hey, Leg Day wants to know, wants to make sure, that's out of all the shit I just said, calling you a bunch of retards, and I gave a bunch of information on why I think you're retards, you got to come out and say you want to nail my wife. You know what I mean? Or
this motherfucker
AD's
here,
is
boy.
like some Chinese man's balls deep in your wife. I don't want to answer that question. I'll just deflect with something really fucking stupid. Bring my wife into it. Because you guys don't like to answer questions. Do you? Hey? Oh, did you almost get a peek? Hey, her face is almost peeled like that. I was a little worried there.
No, he
But,
needs
yeah,
a 51.
It's coming together real good. Your Holy Ghost yet, Carl? Well, yeah, I guess you got to have the Holy Ghost, eh, bud? What's wrong with that? Isn't that the way you're supposed to do? Are you supposed to have the Holy Ghost in you? Spirit of truth?
Oh, they fucking shit out of his ass.
Christ?
Little me,
However you want to say it.
why you do that to
Isn't
this
that the point
fucking
of it?
idiot, bro?
51, 50 coming soon for what? Wanting the truth, Uncle Will? Thinking you're a retard? Thinking massive weapons of mass destruction was a lie? Sorry, buddy. Hate to tell you this. It was proven. Hey, you should know this. Or are you going to tell on me because I said fucking Clintons are a bunch of big fucking liars? He tried getting out of what he did until the state on a dress fucking trapped him. And then he still wouldn't admit it was sexual relations. Didn't realize fellatio was a sexual relation. Or my cigar. Your obsession with children as pedos is not normal. No, it is normal. I want pedos off the street, you sick fuck. It should be everybody's
This
obsession.
dude right here is
We should not
fucking.
want it to happen, but you are sick. You are so sick, and you don't know it. That's the problem. That's why I come on and I do these rants, and then I got to remember everything that's going against you guys. I forget about heart. I forget about how your music's not set at the right frequencies. I forget. Especially little me. His water's way over fluoridated. There's lawsuits about that, right? That'll block
little me
that'll
got
block your vision. Hey, little me. Call him Carl Diddy. You can call me whatever you want, bud. But don't call me late for heaven.
Carl, you ain't going to heaven.
I'll
with
fight
that
every
shit.
one of you fucking
You ain't
shittards
gonna fight
until
nothing.
you realize you're a bunch of map protected pieces of shit. Or maybe you're Mac.
Now imagine living with this dude.
And you're just
Straight up.
protecting yourselves. I don't know what's going on in his brains. I can't make sense of it. Ooh, Carl the cock, eh? Leg day. Leg day. I don't even have to say anything to you, bud.
Imagine living with this fool, right? And he got little kids around him and everything. He just walks around talking to his fucking self all day, screaming about pedophiles and shit. His grandkids are gonna be so fucked up, man. And you almost feel bad for this fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? You really do. You almost feel bad for him. But the problem is no matter what you say to this fucking idiot, he's gonna continue to keep doing the same shit. He acts like he wants a conversation, but you can't talk to somebody like that. His brain completely melts down when you try to ask him a question, or well, y'all seen it. He just fucking diverts and projects, and it's fucking sad, man. But it's
I
funny.
just let Marty work you. It's pretty bad when Marty can own your ass, eh? But then again, it goes back and forth with you two boys. I've had to give you credit a few times. You know what I mean? But
let's speed him up until we get to the. Don't do drugs, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do
we do
drugs.
go psychobabble over your ass. We all see now, baby cake. So he owned you. I warned you though, eh? I said, hey, he's smarter. You guys get ready for it. But then again, you're infatuated with him. Maybe it's jealousy. Maybe you wanted to be at the Dillon State Park. Who knows, little leg day? You know what I mean?
Smart mouth over there on his ass.
I know it's nothing but the future. All while you're victimhood. Make yourself feel better. Cheap soda drinking Carl who got his brain overload. Well, I'm sorry. Like I said, I do try to do the best to limit the amount of money I got to fucking spend in this house because it brings money for other things. So if I can, like I said, it's just not the cheapness of the soda. It's the environment too. But it saves a lot of bottles, and you know what I mean. My wife appreciates it. We're not going to this grocery store all the time for pop, or don't have to go down to the store and pay an arm and a leg like 10 times more than you would at the grocery store for it. I don't know what your problem malfunction is. It's the same thing with my cigarillos. It's my cigarillos too. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like, hey, the ones I used to smoke were like, I think they're like $12 a pack now. $15 now a pack. Okay. So my wife never told me I had to switch. She wasn't cut like that. She went somewhere and she got a couple different flavors and kinds of cigarillos.
I'm gonna see if this a trigger.
And I picked one that I didn't mind. And now I prefer it over the expensive ones. You know what I mean? So yeah, because you know, like those are the only things I spend my money on. It's pop, cigarettes, and weed. That's it. I my wife take care of the rest. But it's hard because the weed thing, it's really hard in this house. Someone likes to steal mine. And then when I complain, it's like, she doesn't want to talk about it, right? Oh, there I am. And then, you need to pick up that to give me money. Well, for what he took this week. Well, yeah, this is it. I'm going to tell you guys, this is a real fucking scenario, okay? This is the deal. He's been stealing from me and sometimes I can't remember what was in my grinder. He goes in there and fucking.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Just so you guys realize,
he gonna tell the truth.
He has more fucking spending money than I do. This is what fucking pisses me off. So he comes to me the other night. Hey, Dad, I get paid on Thursday. I ain't got no weed. Can I get some off you? I said, yeah. I'll give you $1,000 and you can pay me back. But
giving your kid,
I knew he would need more for the next day, right? So I said, hey, tell you what. Just come to me and ask me when you need more. Don't fucking steal from me. What do? I give him the $1,000. I go to bed the night. I fucking left my fucking grinder out where he could see it. Steals my fucking weed out of my grinder. What it was a bowl full. So he had enough.
Oh,
he still fucking stole from me.
I ain't believing this motherfucker.
Here's the thing. He hasn't asked for weed since.
I'm not believing this dumbass idiot is sitting on YouTube telling everybody he gives his kid drugs. I don't give a fuck how old your kids are. I ain't giving my kids alcohol and I ain't giving them fucking drugs. Period. I don't care if it's weed or what. Now I'll put gas in their car. I'll buy them fucking food or whatever, you know. But I'm not giving them fucking drugs or alcohol.
So we had another day to go without having it. So I think like my bag is fucking pretty low and I need more. And then I gotta go to my wife and say, hey, I don't know if my son's been into my weed in my bag or not. Because I don't know. I've had that bag of weed for 3 weeks and she's pretty fucking empty. And it's only an ounce, but so now I gotta tell my wife I need to get weed here.
An ounce of weed a month.
Pretty close. Next Friday. And I think
I'm kind of gathering that, Andrea. Or
I'm not reading the comments. I'm sorry, little me. I was trying to have a conversation there, you know. Tell her she needs a few bucks. I'll gladly give it to her. Yeah. Like, are you trying to tell me you're rolling in it there, Uncle Will? I don't know, bud.
You go right ahead, but you're not getting anything else.
Hey, Carl, when was the last time you actually? Pretty close. Next Friday. And I think this is a better pay period. Not reading the comments. I'm sorry, little me. I was trying to have a conversation there, you know.
No,
Tell
exactly,
her
Jay.
she needs a few bucks. I'll gladly give it to her. Yeah. Like, are you trying to tell me you're rolling in it there, Uncle Will? I don't know, bud. Pure pleasure. Well, not really. I was not in performance mood, but it wasn't really good. But I do have my moments, dude. I don't know. What's the most amount of times like that? Let's have a serious conversation here, bud. Because when I was in her, I'm telling you, in my spiritual awakening, you go through moments of things. How many times have you ever got a woman off? The most amount of times. In one time. Hey? In one time. Hey? How many times can you get a girl off? Hey, buddy?
This motherfucker. Why would you even be
I don't want
talking
me
about
hearing
this
no
shit?
deep fake stories, okay? Little me. Or not little me. Well, little me too, but whatever. Little leg day. That's who I meant to talk to. Hey, bud. What's your record number? I'm waiting, princess. No, I'm waiting for leg day. He's the pleasure king. He's the one with the big old wanger. He's the
This
one that's gonna steal you
motherfucker.
away from me. With his big
Yeah, I
old
know
weenie.
that's right, Charles. I know that's right,
I don't
Charles.
know. He's the one I said, hey, my wife's waiting for the resume. If she's going for a big weenie, she wants proof of it. Do you have any women that will stand by your word like that?
This motherfucker.
Hey?
Yeah, Jack, I don't know.
Does Joe know you went to a rub and tug, Carl? Did you know I went to a rub and tug, hon?
Once and you walked out.
Yeah, but did you hear? See, I don't fucking have to lie, dude. I don't have to lie. I told you I went in there. I never sex trafficked.
This motherfucker.
There was no walking
Yeah,
going
that's
on,
what
buddy.
somebody was saying.
Like I told you, this is a learning lesson, buddy. I told you. And hey,
I had enough fun with that idiot.
Blake's got a birthday cake milkshake from Zaxby's
They
on his
attacking
birthday.
people?
What more could a kid ask for?
A motorcycle.
No chance.
This motherfucker worried
Well,
about
he went to university here. He lived here for many years. He knows that when he is speaking not just to his citizens, but to the world to explain this military action because it was preemptive. It did not have the support of other countries around the world.
Protect yourself, but we're not sanctioning this. This is your action, not ours. And Bibi went ahead and did it. So we'll see how that plays out. There are 4 things going on right now. There's a cabinet meeting going on right now, even as Marco Rubio issued that statement. The FBI is mobilizing all of its counterterrorism experts to make sure that no Hezbollah cells. We know we have lots of Hezbollah cells on our soil here in America. We know some. We don't know some because of what came in during the Biden years. There will be a full alert for all counterterrorism outfits in the country to be looking for any suspicious activity that would suggest that Iran has given some signal to its sleeper cells here to attack on U.S. things. And all military personnel have been on alert for 2 days already in the Middle East, but they'll be watching for all signs that Iran tries to drag, as you said, drag U.S. into this attack by attacking our troops. All of that is
that's
ongoing.
I can fucking figure. CBS Live, but that's just people talking in a fucking. Let's see right now.
نزدیک پادگان قلمرویه.
Dude, I feel for these fucking people, man.
پادگان قلمرویه اینجا.
Oh yeah, most definitely, Jay. Most definitely. See, his brain's so fucking malfunctioned that you can say anything to him, he just snaps. He just starts ranting the fuck on. We're gonna subscribe to that just so we can kind of keep a fucking eye on what's going on. Yeah, it's Iran. Somebody, Charlie, go over and tell that dumbass, say, man, you worried about all that? And Iran's getting, Israel and Iran's fighting? Okay, that's just a loop now. I see.
نزدیک پادگان قلمرویه.
Yeah, it's just a loop. That's crazy, though. Let's see what they got.
Major breaking news from overseas. Explosions ringing out across Iran's capital as Israel claims it's attacking Iran. People in Tehran awaking to the blast. Israel's defense minister announcing a, quote, special situation over the attacks. They say schools would be closed on Friday in Israel.
I bet they will.
No immediate word on what exactly was struck. No immediate comment from the White House. But we are on the precipice of a war in the Middle East. Developing now. Investigator trying to figure out what caused this picture, which was also quite dramatic. An Air India plane bound for London crashing and exploding shortly after takeoff. 241 people were killed. Miraculously, there was just one survivor. The guy literally able to walk away. Wow. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner crashed into a medical college in West there. The plane lost contact just as it was taking off. It hit about 600 feet in the air, then it did a nosedive. Aviation experts say this is the first time that the Boeing 787 Dreamliner has ever crashed anywhere in the world. In the U.S., a JetBlue flight veers off the runway on the East Coast.
The JetBlue plane.
Same on
one another. It's the weirdest shit.
It's
real?
It was in India.
Do you think
people I could think
they really do have superpowers? Little me. Huh? But you got RFK there to save you, right? What's going on with RFK? Do I believe the rumors that he's a sexual deviant and he's been compromised? Like when?
Motivated. Go over and tell him to shut up. Say, shut up, Carl. You just
compromised. Hey? Elon was saying Trump was on the island. Means he's compromised. Elon's name's mentioned a lot. Is he compromised? Hey? Ask your wife when the last time she hit you, Carl. Well, that was quite a while ago there, little me.
Oh, yeah.
It's only been one incident, bud. Why do you want to listen? And you want to make your own shit up? Carl, you live in Canada. Why do you care? Why do you care that children are being hurt all around the world, Carl? Why do you care that America is the fucking bully who thinks it can take Greenland for its protection, economically kill Canada to take it over?
Poor Carl.
Like, I don't think you guys understand how things work because fucking Trump fucking just mutilates your fucking brains. There's like a give and take in the car company with America and Canada because, like I've always said, we've been stupid enough not to fucking do our own shit. So if I was the leader of Canada, do you know what I'd say? I would say, GM, all you American companies, right now, pack your fucking bags and get the fuck out of our country. Get the fuck out now.
Oh, yeah, Deb. No, he smoked some shit.
We don't want to build your fucking cars anymore. You don't want to be our friends? Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Leave us the fuck alone. But you can't leave people alone, you fucking Americans, can you? Because if you don't like somebody who's not living the way you fucking want them to, you will fucking destroy them, you sons of fucking bitches. You destroyed Libya. You fucking destroyed them. You took a fucking country that was fucking thriving and you fucking destroyed it because you didn't want to see anybody else fucking thrive. That's the country you back. You're proud USA, USA, USA. That's more like saying that's called the devil. Go to fucking hell, USA. You're Babylon. You're fucking Babylon. You're so stupid looking for attention. You all want to be so fucking famous, don't you? You love the attention, don't you, little me? Oh, you love it. You love it when people notice you. Oh, look at little me. Don't worry, little me. I know how you operate, bud. You're within your little group. You're probably the grand champion. You stand up for everybody until they disagree with you, eh, little me? Then it's game on, eh? Yeah, let's get the whole gang on you, motherfucker. USA. You know how stupid you look saying USA, right? It's like saying retard, 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 retard. I'm led by retards. That makes me a retard. Do you think God's gonna bless America? Really? Have you looked at America on TikTok?
That motherfucker talking about TikTok.
Fuck. Have you seen your fucking news? They brainwash you fucktards so bad. Like Fox News is fucking just as bad as CNN. I can't wait till I fucking show somebody with some brains. That fucking, what's her name? That fucking Fox reporter, when she tried to say Canada was fucking responsible for the Scythian cult. God, that's America, land that I love, and stand beside.
Wonder where the fuck little me got the American flag
I don't
from.
care, let me
find it.
identify as an American. It suits you. Your merch will have an American fucking little me fucking American jogging suit. I'm gonna buy one and send her to Rocco. Girl, don't ignore me. Oh, where are you? You ignore yourself. That's what you're really doing. I don't need to help you. I don't need to fucking talk to you. I don't need to anything. I just need to not want anything to happen to you. I don't want to see you hurt. But I know you have to suffer before you can come to God, because you guys got a whole sense of stupidity going on, and you're going to have to fucking eat her. I don't know what else to tell you. You think I'm easy. No, bud. That's what you think, eh? The problem is, dude, you don't get that you're the loser here. And that to me is funny. Yeah, I do get triggered that nobody gives a fuck that elite pedophiles go and fuck children all the time, and you just don't fucking care. I gotta watch Klaus Schwab say he's penetrated my fucking cabinet, and then I gotta know that fucking the ding dongs in fucking France, they both have cocks. Trump won't tell you about the cocksuckers over in France. Well, what the fuck, eh? Improving every day, little guy.
This motherfucker is.
You're gonna bite it, bud. I love it. Give me more motivated, little like fucker. Hey, give it to me some more. Tell me about how you're better than me. Go ahead. Tell me how you got me all triggered. When you lay your head down at night and you know you're not even close to being the man that I am, and that you don't want to accept the truth because you'd have to admit you're a piece of shit American. But here's the deal, bud. Don't identify as an American anymore. That's Babylon. As you can clearly see, you're in a state of stupidity you can't even see. I'm giving you many examples of why Americans are fucking
Where the
retarded.
fuck did you get the American flag at, though? I couldn't find that.
And you can't give me one back that
I was
I
going to
gave
do it
you,
with
and
you.
so why?
I couldn't find
It's
it on
fucking
it.
weird. I got you to go outside. Dude, I was having a smoke. I go outside and smoke a lot. Anyways, you need to get off the internet every now and then. Well, I do. I do. Every once in a while, I take a day off. Like I watch a couple videos a day. That's it. That's it. That's it.
I can't believe. Hey,
I try and
Little me,
stay
if you're
on.
still in here, I cannot believe.
Have my focus on one certain thing, and
his old lady
other
knows
stuff
about the
comes
weather
up, and I
stuff
see
yet.
it. I mention it.
That's fucking wild.
What do you think? The Greta Thunberg show? That's real, eh? Israel all over, eh? What do you think about the Jews? Do you hate the Jews, one-legged? Hey, you hate the Jews? Who do you hate? Eh? I don't hate anybody. But anybody who thinks they're the special group, they're God's people, they're wrong. I'm wrong. Hey, little me. Hey, you want me to get help, eh, sweetie? I can't wait till you're screaming. You are going to be on the internet like a little cow. I'm family. Like a good little man. Wanted to be a fucking ignorant asshole and try and fuck with your mental health because I don't feel good about
most
myself.
definitely, Charlie. Most fucking.
You know me?
That's what
You're
he
gonna
hates.
cry
I got
like
him
a little
pegged.
bit.
He knows.
Oh, it's gonna be funny. All you little fuckers are gonna be making videos trying to tag me. You're gonna know that I'm just like everybody else, little.
The internet has fucked him up. All right, let me try that. No emojis found. We'll just put the racing flag.
Anybody like you have me. You're gonna eat shit, dude. You are gonna eat shit.
Kids are probably on the fucking internet out there. They probably playing their game. I'm probably fixing to get off here for a little while. This motherfucker is something else. The internet has ruined this motherfucker's brain. That's sad when not give a fuck.
I asked you not. I said, hey, Bob, you're gonna spoon feed yourself your own shit. I said, stop your lying, stop your bullshit, and you couldn't help yourself.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off here and probably go troll the shit out of this idiot. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Peace.